What's up YouTube, it's Shadow here, and today I bring y'all to the first episode of the Stanley Parable. Now this game is, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know too much about this game. We're just gonna go ahead, get in here. This is gonna be our new series, so go ahead, like, subscribe, and yeah, let's just get into this. Let's do this.
Disclaimer, this video doesn't have as much commentary as my other videos, so just keep that in mind.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Okay.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
What?
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Wait, am I controlling this? Whoa! I am controlling this. I'm Stanley now. Alright, I hate, what is that, Mondays I'm guessing? Alright, let's go, I guess? What is this? Alright, 428, can we open doors? No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
424, where is that? Wait, bro, wait, what is that? Hold on real quick. Is this... What the flip? I already know this game's trippy though. This game's going to make no sense. Inception type of... That type of, you know...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I go to the door on my left though? Alright, we'll go left. We'll go left. You know, I'm a lefty, so you know, we'll go left. Let's see this.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let a ball up inside you? Wait, what? Take it passive. What the? Monetize free to play. Monetize free to play. Bruh. Dude. That's funny.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I said next time I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna walk downstairs. What you gonna do? Red lights. I did not know this was a horror game. This is the garage.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
Bro, this is the
His
same
co-workers
room.
weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
Might as well.
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Keep on going.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this
stuff.
voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin.
See?
The press of the mattress on his
We're
back.
dreaming. We're dreaming.
The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Right?
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Yeah.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What just happened?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Wait. Alright. I'm be honest. What just happened? Like, what just happened? I don't know really what to say. I'm sorry that there's not that much commentary, but like, I'm like speechless. Like, I'm guessing that man was Stanley that was on the street. I'm guessing he has just been hallucinating or something. Where we're back where we are. What the? Alright. Let's do this all over again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's the same dialogue. Same subtitle, same all that. So, we'll actually, before this video ends, we'll actually do what the narrator is saying. Wait, is it right here? Yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna obey the narrator in our head.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yeah. We're going upstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, whoa. What the flip is this? This is your boss's room? I'm not gonna lie. This looks...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah, sheer luck. Okay.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Can I open it? Wait, oh, over here. What the flip is this? What is this place? Down, I guess?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Go. Let's do this. Let's go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Guys. There's 2 ways we could do We could do... See, I know this game is all about the endings. Do we go mind control facility or do we go escape? Now listen, last time you know that we're actually saying, you know, we don't have to listen to the guy. We have something called free will, okay? And because of that, we can make choices. Wow, we can have free will. So, do we go in mind control facility? Because what if mind control facility, and then he's just going to be mind controlled for the rest of his life, doing the same routine, pressing the same buttons in the same order for the rest of his life. Sucker, I'm escaping. Leave, Stanley, leave.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh no. Stanley, I'm sorry. Should we go back? Nah, I guess we're dying.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Wait. I think that's just the narrator just trying to trick me back into the mind. Nah, we going through that, bruh. What's gonna happen over there? Nothing.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk
willfully
forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. It is a red light. Now listen. If we die, I guess we die. I might have taken that back. It's just a drop. I guess a drop. It's just this one long drop. Are we dropping, guys? Where are we dropping? We dropping down here? I guess we dropping down here. Wait, did we die? No way we died, right? Did we die? We're not dead!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
I don't want to get Mortal Kombat Armageddon smushed, bruh.
Perhaps his
Stage
death was
fatality.
of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Rest in peace, Stanley. Wait.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Wait. Who was that?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Bro, this stuff is psychological, bro. The Office? Wait. This was planned. nature paintings, Stanley's computer, office layout. This was all made up. Corridor, filing cabinets, office computers. Here's the credits. What's over here? The office. Just like we're in like Super Mario World. Or Super Mario World?
Here, I'm just gonna make this easy on you. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever.
Wait, the lounge. The underground. Bro, wait, what? And then what's up here? Freedom ending. Freedom ending. What the... Wait, there we are. Here we are.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Oh my gosh, my controller.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your Xbox. There's no other way to beat this game.
I'm not turning on
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't...
Guys, I can't turn on my Xbox. I can't turn off my Xbox. If I turn off this Xbox, this whole recording is going in the trash. I guess let's begin the game again. Re-beginning the game again. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna end it off right here. Yep. We just experienced 2 endings to this game. I don't know how many endings are in this game. I'm gonna find out. In episode 2 of this game, we are going to discover, I'm guessing, 2 more endings. Hopefully y'all have enjoyed this video. This game sure is psychological. Yeah. I didn't even know what was going on really in the first ending, but that second ending though, that stuff was trippy. Anyways though, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment down below what was your favorite part of this episode. Comment down below what's your favorite, part of this episode. And yeah, shadow out. Wait, what? Yeah, shadow out. Like, what the flip was that? Wait, what the flip was that? Shadow out. Like what am I? Like a boy band guy? Like, shadow out. Alright, yeah. Shadow out.